Assalamu alaikum students. This is your teacher Muhammad Umar Khatak for the subject Project Management, and this is our 12th lecture and chapter number 2. And today our topic of discussion is Project Proposal and Summary of the Chapter. Project Proposal. Now that project selection methods have been discussed, it is appropriate to consider what documentation is needed to evaluate a project that is being considered. The set of documents submitted for evaluation is called the project proposal, whether it is a brief, a page or two, or extensive, and regardless of the formality with which it is presented. Several issues face firms preparing proposals, particularly firms in the aerospace, construction, defense, and consulting industries. These are: which projects should be bid on? How should be the proposal preparation process organized and staffed? How much should be spent on preparing proposals for bids? How should the bid prices be set? What is the bidding strategy? Or is the bidding strategy ethical or not? Generally, these decisions are made on the basis of their overall expected values, perhaps as reflected in a scoring model. In-house proposals submitted by a firm's personnel to the firm's top management do not usually require the extensive treatment given to proposals submitted to outside clients or agencies such as Department of Defense. For the Department of Defense, a proposal must be precisely structured to meet the requirements contained in the official request for proposals (RFP) or request for quotation (RFQ). More specifically, in the technical proposal requirements (TPR) that is part of the RFP and RFQ. To deal with non-technical projects casually is folly and casts considerable doubt on the proposer's ability to deliver on the promises. It is all too common for projects concerned with the development of art, music, drama, computers, software, among other non-technical areas to be quite vague as to deliverables, deadlines, and cost. On the other hand, when the proposal is aimed at another division or department of the same parent organization, the technical requirements of the proposal may be greatly relaxed, but the technical approach and implementation plan are still required, even if their form is quite informal. All proposals should begin with short summary, statement, and executive summary, covering the fundamental nature of the proposal in minimal technical language, as well as general benefits that are expected. All proposals should be accompanied by a cover letter. Roman emphasizes that the cover letter is the key marketing document and is worthy of careful attention. In addition to the executive summary and the cover letter, every proposal should deal with four distinct issues. Number one, the nature of the technical problems and how it is to be approached. Number two, the plan for implementing the project once it has been accepted. Number three, the plan for logistic support and administration of the project. And four, a description of the group proposing to do the project and proposing to do the work, plus its past experience in similar work. The precise way in which the contents of the proposal are organized usually follows the direction found in the TPR and RFP, the stated requirements of specific potential funder, the traditional form used by the organizations issuing the proposal, or occasionally the whim of the writer. As is the case with most products, the highest probability of acceptance will occur when the proposal meets the expectations of the buyer as to form and content. At times, there is tendency to feel that non-technical projects, which usually means non-concerned with the physical sciences or physical products, are somehow exempt from the need to describe how the problem will be approached and how the project will be implemented, including details such as milestones, schedules, and budgets. To deal with non-technical projects casually is a folly and casts considerable doubt on the proposer's ability to deliver on the promises. The technical approach. The proposal begins with a general description of the problem to be addressed or the project to be undertaken. If the problem is complex, the major subsystems of the problem or the project are noted, together with the organization's approach to each. The presentation is in sufficient detail that a knowledgeable reader can understand what the proposer intends to do. In addition, any special client requirements are listed along with proposed ways of meeting them. All test and inspection procedures to assure performance, quality, reliability, and compliance with specifications are noted. The implementation plan. The implementation plan for the project contains estimates of the time required, the cost, and the materials used. Each major subsystem of the project is listed along with estimates of its cost. The costs are aggregated for the whole project, and totals are shown for each cost category. Hours of work and quantities of material used are shown, along with the wage rates and unit material cost. A list of all equipment cost is added, as is a list of all overhead and administrative costs. Depending on the wishes of the parent organization and needs of the project task schedules, time charts, network diagrams, and Gantt charts are given for each subsystem and for the system as a whole. Personnel, equipment, resource usage are estimated on a period by period basis in order to ensure that resource constraints are not violated. Major milestones are indicated on the time charts. Contingency plans are specifically noted. For any facility that might be critical, load charts are prepared to make sure that the facility will be available when needed. The plan for logistic support and administration. The proposal includes a description of the ability of the proposer to supply the routine facilities, equipment, and skills needed during any project. Having the means to furnish artists rendering, special signs, meeting rooms, stenographic assistance, reproduction of oversized documents, computer graphics, word processing, video teleconferencing, and many other occasionally required capabilities provides a touch of class. Indeed, their unavailability can be irritating. Attention to detail in all aspects of project planning increases the probability of success for the project and impresses the potential funder. It is important that the proposal contain a section explaining how the project will be administered. Of particular interest will be the explanation of how control over subcontractors will be administered, including an explanation of how proper subcontractor performance is to be ensured and evaluated. The nature and timing of all progress reports, budgetary reports, audits, and evaluations are covered, together with description of the final documentation to be prepared for users of the proposed deliverables. Termination procedures are described, clearly indicating the disposition of project personnel, materials, and equipment in the project end. A critical issue often overlooked that should be addressed in administrative section of the proposal is a reasonably detailed description of how change orders will be handled and how their cost will be estimated. Change orders are a significant source of friction and lawsuits because the organization doing the project and the client rarely understands the chaos that can be created in a project by introduction of seemingly a simple change. To make matters worse, the group proposing the project seems to have a penchant for misleading the potential client about the ease with which minor changes can be adopted during the process of implementing the project. Past experiences. All proposals are strengthened by including a section that describes the past experiences of the proposing group. It contains a list of key project personnel together with their titles and qualifications. For outside clients, a full resume for each principal should be attached to the proposal. When preparing this and the other sections of a proposal, the proposing group should remember that the basic purpose of the document is to convince a potential funder that the group and the project are worthy of support. The proposal should be written accordingly. Project Selection Summary. The following specific points were made in this chapter. The role of projects is achieving the organization goals and strategy is critical. The 8-step project portfolio process is an effective way to select and manage projects that are tied to the organizational goals. Primary model selection criteria are realism, capability, flexibility, ease of use, and cost. Preparatory steps in using a model include identifying the firm's objectives, weighing them relative to each other, determining the probable impacts of the project on the firm's competitive abilities. Project selection models can generally be classified as either numeric or non-numeric. Non-numeric models are further subdivided into profitability and scoring categories. Non-numeric models include the secret cow, the operating necessity, the competitive necessity, and comparative benefit model, and product line extension. Profitability models include standard forms such as payback period, average rate of return, discounted cash flow, internal rate of return, and profitability index. Project management maturity measurement is a way of assessing an organization's ability to conduct projects successfully. Scoring model include the unweighted 0-1 factor model, the unweighted factor scoring model, the weighted factor scoring model, and the constrained weighted factor scoring model. For handling uncertainty, 1. Performer documents. Number 2. Risk analysis. Number 3. Simulations with sensitivity analysis are also helpful. Special care should be taken with the data used in project selection models. Of concern are data taken from an accounting database, how data are measured and conceived, and the effects of technological shock. Project proposals generally consist of a number of sections: the technical approach, the implementation plan, the plan for logistics support and administration, past experience. This would be the end of the lecture. Thank you very much.